Say with Stephanie. Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to the Stephanie Humphrey channel. Welcome to the Stephanie Humphrey podcast. Welcome to Sip and Say with Stephanie. It is such a blessing to be in your home, in your car, in your office, wherever you might be at this time. It is such a blessing to be with you. So it seems that I'm having a tad bit of technical difficulty for my recording. So I'm gonna start again. Welcome to Sip and Say with Stephanie. Welcome to the Stephanie Humphrey channel. Welcome to the Stephanie Humphrey podcast. Welcome to Sip and Say with Stephanie. How y'all doing tonight? Woo woo! It's Thursday, 6:30. Sip and Say with Stephanie, y'all. Yeah. So tonight is a Black History edition. And I'm actually going to do this night in a different way that I've done it in the past. And so it's going to be hopefully short and sweet. And so how are you all doing tonight? First of all, it's wonderful to come into your home, your car, your office, wherever you might be at this time. It is wonderful to be with you, to share what I have to share with you on tonight. It's wonderful to chat with you tonight. It's going to be wonderful to chat with you tonight. How are you all doing? I'm doing good. Y'all know I'm late. My YouTube should know why I'm late because you all know what I was watching prior to coming on. Say it with me. I was watching Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network. So look, y'all, first of all, tell me how you're feeling, and I'm gonna tell you why I watched it so long. So I am feeling pretty good. I'm feeling, my throat is scratchy. Like I don't think I'm coming down with anything, but my throat is scratchy. And today's Thursday, of course. Maybe since Tuesday, my throat started getting a little scraggly. And so I don't think I have anything like that. I don't feel viral. You know how you just feel sick? I don't feel viral, but I have noticed some stuffiness over the last couple of days. I haven't had any like headaches or any symptoms other than being stuffy. Today was the first day I was really blowing my nose a couple of times throughout the day. I was actually wrapped up in my blanket in my space because it is a little chilly up in there. It's an older building, so I actually ended up going to another room and opened the blinds. It's a side of the building where the sunlight is. And so I opened up the blinds and the sun was just beaming down and it felt so good. Oh my gosh, it felt so good. And so anywho, I feel great, except for my scraggly voice. I wish I would have bought a second cup of water. What y'all sipping on tonight? Tell me how you're feeling in the chat. But I'm sipping on water tonight, and I really wish I would have bought an extra cup of water over because I think I might need it. So if I have to step away and get some more water, just is what it is. But yeah, tell me how you're feeling. So I'm feeling good. Scraggly throat. I say scraggly, itchy throat. I call it scraggly, but I have an itchy throat. But everything else is fine, y'all. I have a test to take after the broadcast. Child, I should have took that test like over the weekend, but our professor gave us until today. We've had a week to take it. And I wasn't able to log onto my account, my school account for some reason. Then I realized I had a wrong username. Child, I was just all discombobulated. So I finally got on and realized I'd already saw that we had a test coming up because I had printed the syllabus off in January. Something's in my eye. I printed the syllabus off in January. And so I knew we had a test coming up, but I didn't know what it was going to be about. And so I got in and I'd already printed off all my materials. So I've just been reviewing my materials. So I do have a test to take after this. Deadline is 11:59 midnight. So I probably won't take it immediately after this. I'll probably eat a little something and then I'll take the test maybe around 8. Well, no, actually about 9:30, maybe 10. That way it's the last thing that I do, for the night. But anyway, so I'm feeling good. Y'all pray for me for my test. Y'all, the first test I took, I got a 92. The second test I took, I got a 72. I was struggling. That second set of lessons, I'm gonna say I was struggling. So I've been taking practice tests. So I've been reviewing my material and taking practice tests so I can prepare for this test. And so I'm gonna study a little bit after the show and then take my test a little bit later. So I feel good. I feel confident about my test. I'm just like, either I know it or I don't, you all. And so, yeah, it's all good. I think I told you. Did I see you all? So let me so y'all tell me how you're feeling in the chat. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know what you're sipping on. As I said, I'm sipping on water tonight, and so I almost wish I would have got some tea. I actually need to buy me some tea because I don't think I have. Wait a minute. Do I have tea? I think I might have some peach tea in there. I don't like peach tea. So I really need to get some tea so I can make some hot tea because I don't drink iced tea. But I need to get some hot tea so I can, I do have some honey in there. So I might end up, instead of I might just take me a couple of spoonfuls of honey. That's what I should have done before I got on the show, but I just thought about it. And so I was saying something. Oh, y'all tell me how you're feeling in the chat. Let me know what you're sipping on tonight. And I was talking about last week. I apologize, you all, for not being on last week. So I need to do better about checking my calendar a week at a time because I chat. Sometimes all I can do is go day by day, y'all. Like seriously, sometimes all I can do is day by day. So I forgot that I would not be able to be on last Thursday because I was at a training. And so I apologize for that. I do have the dates for the other trainings, and I will let you all know in advance. I actually was going to get on, but they took us out to dinner, and I clicked on, went out to my car. I was going to do just like talk to y'all, just like, hey, y'all, I'm not able to come on. I'm at my training. They taking us out to dinner. But you know, I clicked everything off, and I was just like, no, I'm not going to do it. Sitting out here in the parking lot in the dark. I won't spur, but I'm just saying, I was like, let me just go in and enjoy the people that I'm in training with. And so that's what I did. And so that's why I was not on the broadcast last week. So I do apologize to my faithful YouTube listeners. I apologize to my faithful podcast listeners. That is why I was not on, because I was at a pre-planned training that I just forgot about, y'all. Pray for me to take a look at my schedule week by week and not just day by day. All right, y'all. I just have a little bit of Black history for us tonight. You all, tonight is going to really focus on current Black history, what's going on right now, and what are we doing? What you doing? What are you doing to create Black history for you? In your community, in your family. That's what we're gonna talk tonight is about you. We're doing self-inventory tonight, doing some self-assessments on tonight. That's what we're doing, y'all. Praise the Lord. Praise the. Okay, y'all, let me get to it. Because really, I probably don't need to be talking a lot. I feel my throat, it's still itchy, of course, and I'm feeling like I feel a little congested as well. So you all, if I sound a little funny, it's just the throat and the nose are not working in a way that is of best benefit to me tonight to be talking on my podcast and my live. So bear with me. I will try to be short, sweet, but thorough. So again, I'm doing Black history in a way that I have never done it before. Usually I will talk about the greats in Black history, such as Shirley Chisholm, unbought and unbossed. George Washington Carver, and everybody else I can't think of right now because my mind is going blank, but we all know the late and the greats and the present greats in Black History Month: Daniel Hale Williams, Garrett Morgan, a recent ancestor now. I see his face. I can't call his name. Harry Belafonte, ancestor now. James Farmer, of course, Dr. King, Miss Rosa Parks, Miss Coretta Scott King. Oh gosh, there's so many greats in history, and I wish I could think of some more, but my mind is like really drawn a blank. I do not know why. Oh gosh, what's the professor? I see his face just as clear. He's a professor at Duke. I cannot think of his name, but thinking about him right now, I'm going to find his name. I might have to add it to this description later. But you all, we have so many great, wonderful, amazing ancestors that we are standing on their shoulders now, being able to do some of the things that they only dreamed about us doing. We have some elders that are currently alive and doing well. Leading us. You know, I was just watching, and I was going to actually talk about him tonight, but I didn't write anything about him, so I'm going to have to go off the cuff with him. But I was watching Pastor Frederick Douglass Haynes. He is now the new leader over Rainbow Push Coalition, who Reverend Jesse Jackson was leading for many years, and Reverend Frederick Douglass Haynes, FD Haynes, is his successor. And I was watching his installation maybe last week. I think it was last week. And it was a beautiful service. And I was thinking about him. And y'all, if you have never heard I call him Dr. Haynes. I think he is a doctor, but Pastor Haynes, if you've never heard him bring forth the word, oh my gosh, find him on YouTube. Is it, I don't want to call his church's name wrong. I know it has a Weston, and I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna find it right now. But if you've never heard him bring forth the word, you all listen to Pastor Haynes. He has a great word. He not only brings forth the word of God, but he includes social justice within his messages. And oftentimes, I'm not gonna say all the time, but he includes social justice in his message, you all. And he's so powerful. He's so social conscious. He knows what's going on in the world. He knows the present state of Black America and what we need to do in order to move forward in getting the things that we need, like the John Lewis Voting Rights Act passed and gun reform. And he's just very knowledgeable and in tune to what's going on. Reverend Jackson chose an amazing successor for him. So if you've never heard of him, Frederick Douglass Haynes, look him up. Check out his sermons. He is dynamic. Like, I really am looking forward to the work that he's going to do in this new position. And so, yes. And so I just was thinking about him kind of off the cuff. I didn't write anything down about him. But you all, he is a great example of what we need to do for ourselves, for our families, for our communities. It's so interesting. I watched Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network. I'm chatting a little bit, not really much, but I'm reading some of the chats. I watched Brother Muhammad. I'm going to talk about him a little bit later and chat with them. And it's so interesting that many of us as Black people, we always want to talk about what's not going right in our communities. We want to talk about what the government is or is not doing. Mostly it's not doing for our communities. We want to complain oftentimes about what we don't have or where we can't go, not physically, but we can't go as far as business is concerned or certain jobs and things like that. And that is all true. There are many economic, social barriers to us getting what we need to get, being where we need to go. With just historical systemic racism happening, and historically we have marks against us. We we have redlining where they want to keep Black people in a certain part of town. You can't go to this part of town. They see our names, oftentimes our hair textures, even though the Crown Act is in effect in many states. They see our appearance, our skin, our name, and they automatically X us out because that name sounds Black or that person sounds Black on the phone, or I don't want a person with locks, in my corporate business. So we have all kinds of systemic barriers and laws and written laws. Again, some laws, some written laws, some unwritten laws against us. And it's hard out here in these streets for a Black person. It really is. And so, as we know, historically, we cannot count on government to make any changes. We have to demand the changes. We have to be the change that we want to see. We have to take action and what we know that we need for ourselves, our families, and our communities. And so tonight is about us taking action. Y'all can look up the greats, the current greats later. You can do that later. But tonight we're going to talk about what can we do to make Black history now for ourselves, our families, and our communities. And I've been hearing this. I heard it from Brother Roland Martin, from Brother Faraji Muhammad. I feel like I heard it from another sister who I can't think of. And so it's like it is, and we need to talk about history. Like we need to know our history. We need to understand our history of enslavement and Reconstruction. We need to understand our history, but you all, we need to be making some history today. Okay. Um, Such as Vice President Kamala Harris. Like we can talk about her being the first person of color, the first African American and Indian woman in a presidential administration. She's a Vice President of the United States. We've never had a woman president or vice president. She is the first. She's making history today. Not Chief Justice, but Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. Yes, I think I said it, the Brown and the Jackson, right? Making history as the first Black woman on the Supreme Court of the United States of America. She's making history today. Like there are a lot of women, I'm thinking of some other things right now, women, men that are making history today. So what history are you making today? I'm gonna give you some encouragement. I'm gonna give you a little bit of encouragement. Let me get my glasses on. And y'all, I'm posing this question to me too. So like this, I'm saying, what history are you making today? I'm asking myself, Stephanie, what history are you making today? How are you, Stephanie Humphrey, affecting change within your own life, in your family, in your community? So this question is just as much for me. This self-assessment tonight is just as much for me as it is for all of us. I want to give us some encouragement tonight. My encouragement tonight is organizations, because y'all know I'm a nonprofit organization. So I'm learning a lot about nonprofits. And so it's really near and dear to my heart with all of the research and education that I've gained over these last couple of years, being now a 501c3 nonprofit founder and president. I absolutely love it. And I'm gonna talk about it in a little bit. That's gonna be the last thing I talk about, because I'll talk about some other people instead of me, right? And so there were some organizations that I looked up, some organizations that I already knew, individuals that I already knew, but I looked up just a few of them as well to give us some encouragement about what we can do today. If you are not actively serving your community, if you are not actively affecting change in your community, tonight is a good night to start. Let's get some education. Let's make a plan. Let's join with other nonprofits, other organizations, churches, other faith-based, organizations. Let's just all be about the work of affecting change in our community. So I actually had a couple of young people that I was going to talk about I just going to put that to the side. I do have a reason for it, put it to the side. But you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna just put that to the side. The first organization, see, there's my nose. I knew it. The first organization that I want to talk about, I actually received a text message from them just a little bit ago, is Black Voters Matter. I don't know if you all have seen any activity in your community with Black Voters Matter. So I already knew about Black Voters Matter. It was co-founded by LaTosha Brown and Cliff Albright. And so I already knew who they were and knew about the organization. They've been in our area on their, I don't know if it was called a bus tour, but it was a bus tour. They were going around the country, and I think they still are in some respects, but going around the country, making sure that people were registered to vote, understood new registration laws or guidance in their community, and just getting people encouraged and motivated to vote. And so they continue their work. And so was it maybe spring or summer of last year, I started seeing all these. They had a meeting in my area, y'all, and I missed it. I don't know why I missed it. I don't know if it was like a Thursday night, which I could have canceled the show. For whatever reason, I don't know if I learned about it last minute. For some reason, I did not go to the meeting, which I wish I would have been able to go. But they had the meeting, and shortly thereafter, I was seeing Black Voters Matter signs all throughout my community. I mean, they was everywhere. And y'all, my county, we vote Democratic up in this piece. I honestly was surprised. The first time I voted in my area, I felt just in the atmosphere that it was a red county. When we got the first, that was in, see, what was the first? I don't know what the first presidential election was that I voted here. Was it, it was, I don't know I think it was Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. I think that was the first presidential election since I've been here. But I've been voting in my primary. Now I'm gonna vote in my primaries. We got primaries happening right now, you all. And you all know I like to vote the day of. So I'm in March, I'll be going to the polls, voting in the primaries. But I think the first presidential election, I voted in quite a few primaries when I first moved up here. But I think the first presidential election was Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. And I don't know who the smaller parties, I don't know who the candidates were there. And I'm gonna just be honest, y'all, I was surprised to see all of that blue. Like Hillary Clinton won the popular vote in my county, and I was pleasantly surprised. Was it Obama? Was that my first vote in here? His second term? Gosh, I feel like it was President Obama now that I'm thinking about it. Whatever it was, I was surprised that it was blue. Now I'm neither Democratic or Republican. I don't vote either. I know how I vote, but I'm not a Democrat. I don't claim Democrat or Republican. I just vote for who I believe will affect the most change in my community, and I keep it pushing. I really was just surprised because I voted Democrat for years. Anywho, Black Voters Matter. Let me get back to the task at hand. So Black Voters Matter, it is an organization, and I got this information from their website. Their goal is to increase power in marginalized, predominantly Black communities. They believe that effective voting allows a community to determine its own destiny. Did y'all hear that? Black Voters Matter believe that a community that effective voting allows a community to determine its own destiny. I agree. That's why we, as a community, as the citizens in our community, need to be active in knowing what's going on in our community, knowing who our community leaders are, our local leaders are, our mayor, our city councilmen, our city council men and women, our county commissioners, our school board officials, who else, even who serves on the boards of the different commissions within our county. Like, we need to know who these individuals are so that we can talk to them, so we can call them, we can email them, we can reach out to them whenever we need to either ask some questions or get them some information or ask them to vote a certain way. Like, we need to know who our state representatives are as well, and of course our federal representatives, our state in the state house, state representatives, not the U.S. House, but the state house, and our state senators. We need to know who our U.S. senators are and who is on the U.S. House of Representatives for our district. And so we need to know all this information. But I feel like local elections are just as important, if not more important, than presidential. So we need to know who our people are, y'all. Like, we need to know, we need to go to the school board meetings if we can, go to the city council meetings. I'm not gonna say if we can, scratch that. We need to go to the school board meetings as often as we can. We need to go to the county commissioner meetings as often as we can. We need to go to our city council meetings as often as we can. There are some barriers to me going because of the time of day they have. And maybe that's something I need to bring up and be like, look, y'all need to maybe change the time for us working folk. But we need to be, and even if, like, I know, especially during the pandemic, I know many school boards are still streaming like their school board meetings. I don't know. Now I'm gonna have to check in my area if our city council, county commissioner stream the meetings, because of course the pandemic they did, because we couldn't get there. And so if you're not able to attend, that's what I say, go as often as you can. If you're not able to attend, watch via stream or watch the rebroadcast. That's for me. That one was for me, y'all. But Black Voters Matter, it is a organization that supports voters. They're all about the voters. It's neither Democrat nor Republican. They're wanting to get people registered to vote and get us moving about letting our voice be heard about what we need and what we want for our communities. Okay, you also check it out. One thing that I appreciate that they put on their website is that they agree with these words by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. when he said, "Power at its best is love." Excuse me, let me try it again. Power at its best is love implementing the demands of justice. And justice at its best is power correcting everything that stands against love. I never heard that quote before. I'm not embarrassed to say that I never have. I've heard it before, but when I read it, I read it like a couple of times because I was all like, I absolutely love this quote. Power at its best is love implementing the demands of justice, and justice at its best is power correcting everything that stands against love. The Bible says that we to love God first and then love our neighbor as we love ourselves. If you don't love me, that means you don't love yourself. And I'm going to leave that right there while I take a sip. So if you can get involved with I need to check my text message that they sent, see what's happening. But if you are able to get involved with Black Voters Matter, like if that is an organization. Oh, you know what, y'all? I do have the links to all these organizations. So while I'm talking, let me put the link in. If you feel so called and feel so led to be a part of Black Voters Matter or find out if they are active in your community, I think you should do that. Now, this may not be I forgot to get their links. I'm looking it up now, you all. If you don't think that's an organization that you want to be a part of, that's okay. I got a couple more that maybe you want to be a part of. But Black Voters Matter, Voters Matter Fund, so they do take donations in order to fund their activities, again, in getting us registered to vote and out voting. Okay, they also provide education, information to help those of us who want to do that grassroots organizing in our community. They provide the training and the education to do so. So I just encourage you, if you feel like it's something that you want to be a part of, or just go on their website and see what they're about. I encourage us to check them out. So I'm gonna put the link in the chat. In case you want to either support them or learn about them. Okay, Black Voters Matter. All right. Yeah. Doing some good work, y'all. Doing some good work. And y'all know, I'm gonna do a vote. I just told you I'm gonna do an elections edition, and I think I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna tell you, but I think I'm gonna do it in a few months. I'm not gonna tell you because I don't know for sure when. I'm not trying to keep it a secret. I'm not sure which month I'm gonna do. I have a month in mind, but I just need to check my schedule, make sure everything is good for me to do it in a way that is thorough, and I can bring the facts with you. That's why I was like, I don't know what month, because I need to take the time to do the research so I can give you some accurate information. I'm thinking about something right now that I forgot to do for tonight, but it's okay. And so I just want to make sure that I have adequate time to do the proper research to give you the information that's needed. Now, one thing I can tell you right now is that every seat in the U.S. House is up for grabs. I think it's 435 seats, if I'm not mistaken. They're up for grabs, y'all. Let me tell y'all, look. Let me digress because I've been got excited. Look, y'all, we need to be paying South Carolina. Come on, check plus. We need to be paying attention to what's going on not only in our state but in states across the country. Y'all, I'm telling you, we're going to have an elections edition. I'm not going to get into that right now. We're going to have an elections edition. I probably should have already done it because primaries have started. They actually started this month in February throughout the United States of America. Our election day is March 5th for North Carolina. I don't know the dates for any other counties, but you all, since I'm talking about vote, and I had not planned to talk about vote tonight, it is not in my notes, but I encourage you tonight, before you go to bed, check your voter registration. Go to your Board of Elections state website, look yourself up, make sure that you are still on the roll, that you are still counted, that you are still an active voter, so that you are ready to vote in the primaries, y'all, and vote. I know that primaries are not as exciting as presidential elections, but you all make sure that you either early vote now, if your county is, your state is voting now, make sure that you're voting now, or if you like me, you like to wait on election day, that's just my heart to do that. Then you wait on election day, but you all, let's make sure that we vote in our primaries. It is important for us to vote in our primaries, vote for our local leaders, our mayors, our county commissioners, our city councilmen, our sheriff, our district judges, district judges, y'all. It is it is important we're going to talk about it later, how important it is for us to vote in the primaries, okay? So if early voting is happening now, if you're able to do that, or if you want to do that, please go ahead and vote. But first, make sure that your registration is active, okay? So now this is something new that I did not know was in existence right here in my home state of North Carolina. There is an organization you all call New North Carolina. Now I have to admit, when I saw New North Carolina, I thought about Make America Great Again. I was like, wait a minute. What y'all talking about? But you know what? I will read information because it is good for me to be informed about people who are like-minded, as well as people who are not like-minded. I want to say crazy-minded, but I digress. But people who are not like-minded, like Project 2025, there is nothing about that is like-minded to me. But I still need to read it so that I can be educated about what Republicans want to do if their candidate is voted in November this year. Okay, I just need to know what y'all planning. Lord God, the Lord is gonna. I said I'm not talking about voting, and I'm not. But I need to know what's going on all the way around. And you should as well. You should do your research, know what's happening in your community, in your state, at the federal level, y'all. I'm not talking about voting tonight, so let me move on, but this is about voting, so I guess I'm gonna talk about voting a little bit. So this New North Carolina, their mission is to make politics represent the needs of North Carolinians by investing in communities of color, expanding the engaged electorate, and creating lifelong voters. I can get with this, okay? I can get with this. I'm not worried about Republican. I'm not worried about Democrat. Let's make sure that we have, like this hashtag says, lifelong voters. Matter of fact, I got a niece that I need to check with her and make sure she registered to vote. I think now when young people get their driver's license, they go ahead and register them to vote. I don't know if they do it automatically or if they ask them, are you registered to vote? If you're not, do you want to register? I don't know. I need to check into that. But I need everybody who is 18 years of age to get your hind parts out, or go to your state board of elections website, go to your county board of elections website, and go ahead and register. I need you to have already registered to vote so you can vote in these primaries. In North Carolina, you got to have an ID. I'm gonna talk about it. I don't know. Am I gonna hit it next week? I don't know. We'll see. I might hit it in with us talking about our heart health, but I need you to get registered to vote so you can hopefully vote in the primaries. But for sure, you can vote. Excuse me, in the presidential election. I need y'all vote. I need y'all register. Y'all, I don't just need you. And I said need. I said I. I did say I. I said I. Even though it's your business, I. Stephanie Humphrey needs you to get registered to vote. And not only do I need you to register to vote, I need you to get your hind parts out to the polls. Yes, I did say your hind parts. My name is Stephanie Humphrey and I approve this message. I need you to get your hind parts to the vote, to register to vote first, and then get your hind parts out to the poll, to the voting place. I'm sorry. Get registered and then go to the voting poll and vote. That's what I need you to do. I need you to get registered and I need you to actually vote. Y'all, every election cycle, we say we need to vote like our life depends on it. This is no different. We need to vote as if our very lives depend on it, because y'all, Black lives, every Black person hear me clearly. Hey to my Asian sisters and brothers. Hey to my white sisters and brothers. Hey to my Latino sisters and brothers. Hey to my Island Pacificer sisters and brothers. Hey, how y'all doing? Wonderful to have you on the Stephanie Humphrey channel and podcast. But right now I'm talking to my Black brothers and sisters. I need you all to make sure that you are registered to vote and get your hind parts out to the polls and vote. I know, I have heard it all. Well, nothing changes for Black people. If I do go vote, I'm voting for the lesser of two evils. Joe Biden too old. Well, doggone it, Donald Trump too old too. Come on, because they're only a couple of years apart. Like, I need us to hear me. I do know that the struggle for Black people have been real. The systemic racism and other systems that have been levied against us, they're real. I know poverty is real in the Black community. all these voting suppression laws are real in the Black community. I know, I get it, I know. But you all, we still have to get out and vote. You all, we still have to be active participants in the voting process. I said I won't go talk about voting tonight, but this new North Carolina got me talking about it. So we're gonna blame them. So I appreciate their mission to make politics represent the needs of North Carolinians by investing in communities of color, expanding the engaged electorate, and creating lifelong learners. I like it. I like it. This new North Carolina, they are working, excuse me just a minute, y'all. Okay, give me a little room. Come on, John P. So they are working to use, let me make sure I'm hearing. So they are looking to power North Carolina's ground game. This is straight from their website, you all, through targeted community ambassador programs, innovative data validity, because we need data to be right and valid, strong partnerships, deep canvassing, and a coordinated statewide field program. I agree, because again, Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, Green Party, we don't care about y'all party. I don't. I don't care about your party. All I care about is, are you the candidate that's going to put the needs of the citizens first? Are you a candidate that's, I don't care you talking about trying to build a wall. I want to curse that. Are you putting the needs of the American citizens first? I said I'm not going to talk about voting. I'm just saying, if you are a candidate that's going to put the needs of the community first, then I will listen to what you have to say. Even if you're not putting the needs of the community first, I'll at least listen. Look at you. Let me put my glasses back on. Look at you like this, and then I'm going to keep it moving. Okay. We need a more equitable, that's what we need, the John Lewis Voting Rights Act passed, y'all. We need it passed. You can call your representatives, email them, and let them know that we need it passed. All right, y'all. So I appreciate this organization. Now, it's interesting that I've never heard of this organization. I've heard of Black Lives Matter. I don't know when I first, maybe on Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network, may have been the first time I heard about them, but I've known about them for a couple of years. And then I've seen them active in my community as well. I've never heard of this new North Carolina. So I don't know who they're appealing to. I don't know what neighborhoods they're canvassing in, because well, I'm about to say they ain't came to my Black neighborhood, but my neighborhood is a mixture of Black and white and Latino. And we do have a few brothers and sisters who are Indian. We do have a few Indian brothers and sisters in our community. So I have a mixture of cultures and nationalities in my community. So I was about to say they ain't came to my Black neighborhood, but maybe they have come to my area and not necessarily my neighborhood. So I'm going to do a little bit more research about the work that they are doing specifically in my community, because I love y'all community, but I want to, be knowledgeable about what's going on in my community first. And so if you all know this organization or know more about them, feel free to put it in the chat. But they did have some interesting facts, you all. They noted that record turnout in 2021 was low for people of color, y'all. What was going on? Sherry Beasley, man, she should not have lost. Okay, that's a whole other conversation. Okay. So in 2020, half of eligible Latinx and Indigenous voters voted did not vote. More than half of eligible Latinx and Indigenous voters did not vote. More than 40% of eligible AAPI, that's Asian American Pacific Islander voters, did not vote. And y'all, a third of eligible Black voters did not vote. Dog, own it. Come on, North Carolina. We got to do better in these primaries. We got to do better in the presidential election. Look, y'all, in fact, more than 1 million eligible voters of color did not vote in 2020 in North Carolina. I live in North Carolina, so I can talk about it. More than 1 million of us, y'all. Come on, y'all, we got to do better. That's why tonight we're doing a self-assessment. We're looking to see how can we We making Black history, y'all. We know Black history. We know our history. We know what our ancestors have done, and we thank God for them. We stand on their shoulders. We thank God for the work that they have done. We are in the season that is our turn to do the work. So what are we doing? I done asked this like 3 times already. This might be the third, might be the fourth. What are we doing in our communities and our families within ourselves to affect change? We are the change that we need to see. That's the Black History Moment. That we are a Black History Moment. Whatever the work that we're doing, we are making history. We are the Black history. Okay, we are the Black History Moment. We are the Black history. So again, if you missed the beginning of the broadcast, tonight is all about us taking a self-assessment and seeing how we can make Black history now, so that 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 100, 150, 250 years as later, they can be talking about you and the contributions you made to America, and in particular to Black America. Okay, so that's why I'm talking about the organizations, to give us some encouragement and some inspiration so we can get active in our communities. Praise the Lord. All right, so this new North Carolina, I want y'all to, let me give you their link so y'all can look it up, because I am taking it. And I want y'all to talk to me. Like, is what I'm saying resonating with you? Y'all think I'm being too wild and crazy tonight? I'm on 1,000 tonight. Y'all talk to me in the chat and let me know how you're feeling. Let me find, did I forget to put their website? Child, I forgot to put their website in my little notes up here. So let me find them real quick, because I'm putting the links in the chat, you all, because I want you to look these organizations up for yourselves and see if it's something that you feel like you can be a part of, or maybe they have some information or some resources that you can use to get active in your community. So I want it to be clear, I do not endorse any of the organizations that I'm sharing with you tonight. I do not endorse any of them, but I do want us to be educated about what's going on in our communities. I want us to do the research that we need to do so that we can be educated, we can be knowledgeable, we can be a resource for others in our community, we can be a resource for our families, we can be a resource for our church, our faith-based communities, and whoever else that needs us as a leader in their lives. We can be that for them. So we just need to be, educated, you all. Let's just get educated. Give me just a second. I'm putting the new North Carolina project. If I didn't say project, forgive me if I forgot to add the project to it. So I'm putting that link in again. The Stephanie Humphrey channel nor the Stephanie Humphrey podcast endorses any of them information, but we need to be educated. And I am an educator by career, and because the Lord says so, I won't tell you that story because y'all probably already heard me tell it. So I just wanted you to know. So you all, there is, and I'm just sharing this with you because I thought it was interesting, and this is about Black history. So there is a young lady, I call everybody young lady. Her name is Dr. Walker McGill, and she has introduced a movie entitled Someone Else's Shoes. And so you all know, I meant to do a little bit more research about this. I have done some research in the past and, haven't really done present research, so I've forgotten about the hospital, but let me make sure. St. Agnes Hospital, you all, which was one of the first, I'm staying in North Carolina, which was one of the first Black-owned and operated hospitals in Raleigh, North Carolina. This hospital, you all, provided vital medical services for people of color, for Black people. Let's just say, no, not people, for Black people. Don't want people, for Black people. St. Agnes Hospital, first Black-owned and operated hospital in Raleigh, North Carolina. You all, and like I said, I've done some history because I remember seeing the building and everything. It's been some years ago, and I didn't have the time tonight to pull up any more information. But this particular movie, Someone Else's Shoes, gives us a history of St. Agnes Hospital, and it's executive produced by Dr. Cheryl Walker McGill. You all, and I've been told, just reading the information about it, that it's a powerful film, that it's an inspiring film. I watched the what they call the preview of it, and it's really good. And I need to actually go back and revisit the information and just refresh my understanding and my memory really about St. Agnes Hospital. And so I thought this was important, you all, because there might be some medical care professionals out there that need some encouragement. Maybe you burned out, you need some encouragement. Like if the doctors and nurses and medical staff are saying, oh, St. Agnes can do it, Black owned and operated first, then surely, hopefully, you can get some encouragement and some inspiration for it too. The only thing I don't like about the film, you all, is that you have to request the film. In order to watch it, you have to request it. So I'm going to put the link in the chat so that you can look up the information. I actually pulled up the information to put my information in so I can request it, but I started doing something different. So I am going to request the film for myself. And if it's something that I can do to like a showing, you know how you do documentary showings. If it's something that I can do that way, then I'll do that. I just need to look up to see, because it didn't specify, like if I request a film, if it's just coming to me, or if I request a film, do I have to do a showing in order to view the film? Like there was not specific information on the website about that. It just had the, you know, contact form where you can fill in to request the film. I'm hoping they send it to me directly. And if it's something that I think, you know, we could do together, like watch together, then I'll make that happen. And if it's not, I'll tell, after I request it and get information, I'll give you an update. And then we can kind of go from there. Or you do it yourself. You request it and let us know what you found out about it. But I definitely want to and will request the information. Let me get a sip, you all. My throat is getting dry. Oh, excuse me. But I definitely am going to request it. So I just want to share a little bit more information about it. So the mini documentary highlights trailblazers in medicine and dentistry in North Carolina who broke barriers and paved the way for future generations, helping to increase everyone's access to care. That's the thing about Black people. When we get a victory, when Black people get a victory, it seems like everybody benefits from that victory. But when other people get victories, we don't get those benefits. That's just a side note, and that's the truth. It is the truth. It sure is the truth. All right, you all. So there's like expert interviews in the documentary. There's images, of course. There's archival footage within the mini documentary. I'm really excited to see it. Like I said, I'm hoping once I request the information that they'll like send me a link so I can watch it myself. Again, I will keep you all posted. And I just want to add, that there was a fire. I didn't want to give you this information. I think I remember them talking about this when I did some research a little bit ago. But there was a fire that nearly destroyed St. Agnes Hospital. But there was a bishop named Delaney, Bishop Delaney. Let me see if I can get his first name. Bishop Henry Beard Delaney. He actually rebuilt the structure with help of some college students, help of his college students. They were able to rebuild St. Agnes, and you all, oh man, I'm so happy about it. And so anyway, again, the documentary explores like the roots of St. Agnes and the history of St. Agnes. And it includes some of the Black pioneers. Dr. Julius Chambers, he was the chancellor of North Carolina Central University when I was there some years ago. Dr. Paul McGill, Dr. Kenneth Chambers, and Dr. Brenda Armstrong, they are also trailblazers that contributed to that they were just Black pioneers. I don't know if they, according to the information, they didn't have any specific roots within St. Agnes, but it just explores them as Black pioneers because we know that that even though they may not have had anything directly to do with St. Agnes, they did have some powerful influences and contributions to North Carolina, and I'm gonna just say the Durham area in particular. And so, yes, let me make sure I got that right. Yep, So, in addition to exploring the deep roots of St. Agnes Hospital and Bishop Delaney, the film highlights the contributions of other Black pioneers, including Dr. Chambers, Dr. McGill, Dr. Kenneth Chambers, Dr. Julia Chambers, and then Dr. Brenda Armstrong. All right, woo woo! So yeah, y'all. And hopefully, when you request a film and get it, it will encourage you to be a trailblazer, to be a pioneer today, making Black history today, affecting change today in your community. Yes, I'm going to keep saying it because I want us to get it, and I want me to get it as well. Let me look for the link because I do want to continue to put the link in as I'm talking because I don't want to forget to give the link to you. And I don't see any comments so far, so I'm assuming that everybody's just listening. I guess you all are just listening and not taking in, not taking in, but I guess you're just listening and processing or taking in the information. And so, but thank you all for being a part. I'm going to add the link to, let me make sure I got the film entitled right. Give me just a second. Someone Else's Shoes. So the Pearls to Purpose website that I'm putting on, that's one of the producers of the film. So it doesn't say Someone Else's Shoes, but you can find information about the film on this website, okay? Let me make sure I'm spelling this right. What got my apostrophe S's? I want to make sure I got my apostrophe S's in the right place. I don't put someone's apostrophe S, so Someone Else's Shoes. Ooh. Get my fingers right. All right, so that's that. And I also want to add you all, there's another link that I want to add to you or add for you. And this particular link gives you information about Dr. McGill. And so just in case you want to read about her and the work that she's doing, you all, I was looking at her position, and she is a, let me see if I can enunciate correctly. She is a internist and allergist immunologist. Make sure I get that right. She is an internist and allergist immunologist. That's who she is. That's part of the work that she does as a doctor. And I'm just like, go ahead, go ahead. She actually chaired the emergency preparedness and response work group during the COVID-19 pandemic. She also led some other initiatives to improve healthcare, within our communities. And yes, so if you want to read about her, I'm going to add her information to the chat. So if you want to read about Dr., I keep looking at her name because I want to make sure, Dr. Walker McGill, I want to make sure that I get her name correctly. And I still got to look again, okay, because I saw a G. I saw a D in the place of the G. Y'all help me, y'all pray for me here. Even with my glasses on, I still be struggling sometimes with these eyes. Praise the Lord. All right, so that's information. I got a couple more organizations to go. It's already 7:30. I told y'all I won't be on long. I need to stop saying that so I won't seem like I'm lying, because I don't want it to seem like I'm lying anyway. I really think I'm going to be short, but then you all, I start talking about something and then it extends the time that I plan to be on. Y'all love me anyway, right? I hope so. I hope y'all give me grace and mercy. Amen. So this particular person is very near and dear to her work, because I don't know her personally, but her work is very near and dear to my heart. And so I want to share with you, and I have like maybe 4 more organizations, maybe 5, I think, organizations / people to talk about. So you all just bear with me. Dr. Monique Coulson, she's formerly Monique W. Harris. She did get married couple of years back. She is a doctor. I did say doctor. Okay, Dr. Monique is what I'm gonna call her. She is an award-winning author and social justice scholar, you all. She is the author of Push Out, the criminalization of Black girls in schools. You all have heard me talk about this documentary. It is phenomenal. I watched this documentary some years ago. I don't even know how I came across it or who I was talking to or who gave it to me as a resource, or if I found it myself, I have no idea. But was it on I don't know how I watched it. I don't know if it was on TV, PBS, or something. But anyway, I watched this phenomenal film that talks about the criminalization of our Black girls, y'all. I mean, just when you look at the trailer, just the opening itself makes you want to snatch somebody. The book is phenomenal. This was a movie. She does have a book. I do have the book. I have not read through all of it yet, but what I have read so far, it's some good information, you all. And so Dr. Colson, she's been working as an educator, as a civil rights leader, as a juvenile justice and in criminal justice for over 30 years, y'all, for over 30 years. Again, she's the author of Push Out, The Criminalization of Black Girls in Schools. She's the author of Singer Rhythm Dance, a Blues, liberatory education for Black and brown girls, cultivating joy, learning spaces for Black girls, insights. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me make sure I got this right. Okay, so that was one. Okay, then the third book, or another book, Cultivating Joyful Learning Spaces for Black Girls, which are insights into interrupting school push out. And then another book she has is Too Beautiful for Words, and there are more books that she's authored. Those are just a few of them. And you all, the push out, while I'm talking, I'm gonna put the link in the chat. But there are four or five, let me make sure. The film features 5, if I'm not mistaken. I forgot to write it down, but 5, if I'm not mistaken, young ladies that talk about their experiences being ostracized. I'm gonna use the word ostracized as Black girls. And you all, I don't know if you have heard of the term adultification, but if you have not heard of the term adultification, it is a term that actually I missed. I missed one, so it's okay. I'm gonna come back to it. Adultification is a term that's used to make Black girls seem older or appear older or be treated as if they are older than what they already are. This happens even to our young Black girls, you are as young as age 5. In the school system, they are not looked on as our teachers, staff do not look on them empathetically or with compassion like they do white girls, because they see a Black girl as being much older than much older than what she is. And so they tend to treat her that way. Instead of treating her as a child she is, they treat her more as an adult, called adultification. You know what? I did not do research as to where the term came from. I did pull up information about it, but I didn't do any research as far as statistics as to why, or not why, I know why, but the statistics as to when this actually happened or how this was termed, or when it was first termed, but it's real and it's true. Let me see what I added to my notes. Okay, so because I moved a little fast. Okay, there it is. Woo! So I'm gonna read what the definition says so you can have it. Adultification is a term used to define how Black children are viewed as older than they are. Systemic racism has forced Black children into social, emotional, and physical adult roles before they are adults, contributing to adultification. Now I'm gonna put that down. And I'm put this over here so I won't forget to come back to the organization that I forgot. But I do want to put these links in, you all. If you have a daughter or a niece or a granddaughter, or if you have children in your family, Black children, Black girls in your family, you all, this would be wonderful for you to watch this film and then watch it with your young person as a means to have a conversation with them about how they feel in school. Like, have you experienced, niece or daughter or granddaughter or cousin, have you experienced these scenarios in your school? Or have you experienced them personally? And then have you seen your classmates or peers or just young Black girls in your school? Have you seen them experience some of these attitudes towards them? Okay, so y'all, I'm going to give you the link for adultification, and there is information. Let me spell it right. There's information on the National Institute of Health website. It is a long website, y'all. Bitly they don't have it. Uh-oh. Oh, it's not letting me put the whole thing. Okay, so I might have to put it in the description. Okay, there we go. Oh, that's why. Oh, I put sorry that it's so long, but Bitly wants to. I didn't mean to put that into the chat, you all, but I did, but it's okay. Maybe I can delete it and try again. Let me maybe remove that because y'all don't need all of that. Okay, I did remove it. So let me try to put it again because y'all don't need all my little notes that I did for myself because I actually put that as a note for myself. But if you want to read about adultification for yourself, adultification, make sure I'm spelling it right as I'm talking, then I'm going to put the link here for you to read about it for yourself. And I also want to go ahead and give you links for Push Out. If you are an uncle, y'all, we need the men perspective, you all. We need the male perspective to help our young girls, you all. When I say that the film opens up, like looking at the trailer, I haven't seen the film in its entirety in a while, but just looking at the trailer again on the website, the opening, I'm gonna tell y'all what the opening is a police officer trying to grab a young girl out of her desk. And when I say he is wrestling with her and dragging her, yeah, I'm pausing for a purpose. I'm pausing for a purpose. It's yeah. So I'm gonna give you some information. I just put in the link for the information about Push Out, the website. I'm going to put a link here for you to go to YouTube and watch some of the videos. And I'm also going to add a link here for you to go and listen to Dr. Colson have conversations about her documentary Push Out. Okay, so I'm doing that now while I'm talking. So you all, again, if you work with young girls, if you're an auntie, a grandma, a mother, a father, it would be worth you looking at this information. Now, granted, the information that Dr. Colson took was from, I think, a 2018 study, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, that reminds me of some more information that I want to share with y'all, but I'm gonna share it next week. I'm looking at the reminder right here, but it's a medical information, so I'll share it next week when we talk about heart health. But the information she got, I can't remember exactly which organization gathered this information about Black girls, but I believe it was the study was done in 2018. Okay, so you can read about it with the links that I'm adding to the chat. Again, this is for our edification, you all, so that we can learn about what's going on in our community. The more we are educated ourselves, the more we can educate others, the more we can support each other, the more we can be a leader in our community and affect change in our community. Okay. All right, and of course, I had a cousin actually that me and her were talking about it last week. Is something that it was a term she had never heard of before, and yes, so we talked about that. So yes, so anyway, y'all read about it. And I'm going to press on because I got a couple of more to talk about. You all have heard me talk about the Black Women's Health Imperative. I know I'm talking a lot about women, but me and I got something for y'all too. The Black Women's Health Imperative, it is an organization, it is a nonprofit organization that eliminates barriers to wellness for Black women and girls, okay? Black Women's Health Imperative, the BWHI, is the first and only national nonprofit solely dedicated to achieving health equity for Black women globally. It was founded in 1983 by Billie Y. Avery, okay? It was actually founded as the National Black Women's Health Project. But when they were at Spelman at a college, the organization evolved into the BWHI. Okay, y'all, I love the BWHI. I watch their websites. I do visit their website, but I watch their videos on YouTube. They have, I have conversations with doctors and community leaders, health leaders, people in the community about about fibroids, reproductive health, diabetes, meal planning, mental health, sickle cell, Black maternal health. There's a couple of recipes, shows up there as well, and more. Anything health related about for Black women, Black girls, they are talking about it in the Black Women's Health Imperative. I encourage you, I'm going to put their website in the chat. I encourage you to visit their website, get information, watch their past videos. The information, you all, is invaluable. I'm telling you, it will help you as you are transforming your health and learning to live healthier and well. It will help you in that process. It will help you on your journey. Let me take a sip, y'all. Okay, men, I got something for you. The Black Women's Health Imperative has a program. It's called Change Your Lifestyle, Change Your Life, the CYL2. It is a 12-month program, you all, that equips participants with the tools that you need to prevent type 2 diabetes. This program is open for women and men. For women and men, okay? You all, us, those who are pre-diabetic, you can prevent disease progression by losing at least 5 to 7% of your starting weight. Okay, the Change Your Lifestyle, Change Your Life will help you. So let me put the link in the chat. If you're interested, I encourage you to go to their website, look up the information. There is an app. Let me go back up because this is the organization that I'm in. So let me go back up. I encourage you to check out their website, you all. Again, the information is invaluable, and this program can help you if you are pre-diabetic, if your doctor is talking